Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here with another edition of the Philly Pod. It's Saturday, December the 10th, 2016. I'm your host, Dave. Along at my side, as always, Mike. And we're back here to discuss another week of Philly sports. Mike, how you doing, man?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself, Dave?
Doing well. How was your week?
Good. Definitely good. You know, after a rough Sunday, everything improved. But, you know, I'm doing good.
Well, you must be in a good mood.
I
would think, as of right now, this recording, you're in a great mood.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Your Flyers currently on a 7-game winning streak.
Take it. Run with it. Take it. Keep going, guys. You guys are literally lifting my spirits right now.
I think, we need something in this town with the current state of the Eagles. But here's what we're looking to do for our show today. The Eagles are what they are. We're gonna discuss them very briefly. We're gonna discuss them as soon as I'm done this intro, and it's going to be for about a couple minutes, and that's it. Focus of the show today: 2 things. Obviously, we're going to talk a lot of Flyers hockey today. The Flyers are hot. They are the hottest team in the NHL as of this recording. Currently, they're going to be on a back-to-back stretch here, where they're playing today on this recording, and then Sunday, the 11th. Tough stretch for the Flyers. We'll get into that, and not only that, how we think the Flyers are going to project throughout the rest of the season and playoffs, and we're going to talk about why the Flyers are currently playing as well as they are. And second thing we're going to talk about, the Villanova Wildcats have taken over the number 1 spot in both the AP and coaches polls in the very young 2016-2017 men's basketball season. And we're going to break down that Wildcats team a little bit, see what their chances are possibly even repeating as national champions.
That would be one heck of an accomplishment to repeat.
Boy, wouldn't it?
I mean, you think about this, this team and what Jay Wright has done. It's incredible. And
yeah.
I think if they could repeat,
oh yeah,
it'd be crazy.
Oh, it would. But let's start off really quick with the Eagles. As of this recording, the last game that we have seen was the mess in Cincinnati, where I believe the final was 32-14. The score of it, they lost by 18 points. It wasn't even that close. Just totally, it was just a bad game, bad performance. The worst game we've seen out of the Eagles this year. And the things that have been alarming to me are some of the things that have come out, Mike, after that game. Okay? We have Doug Peterson criticizing his quarterback in front of the media. Okay, criticizing his team's effort again in front of the media. You have guys like Fletcher Cox coming out questioning the decisions of the head coach, questioning the decisions of the defensive coordinator, strategies. And, you have Zach Ertz not owning up his poor effort on a play. And here's all I'm going to say, and this is literally going to all I have to say about the Eagles probably for the rest of the year. We heard and saw the same things last year with Chip Kelly. We heard the same sort of complaints coming from these players, Mike. And I looked at it, and you know what? I overlooked it because I thought, well, all right, Chip Kelly is an idiot inside the Eagles locker room. This guy rubs people the wrong way. This is just because he's lost complete control of the locker room and of the team. But now we have a new coach in here, and they're starting to lose, again, coming off a bad loss. And we're starting to hear the same players complaining about the same things. So, while I know Doug Peterson, I don't think he's a good coach. I've got on record now, I've said that. He's not going to be the guy that takes his team where it needs to go. But at some point, I think it's fair to wonder whether or not that we have players on this team who are winners. Because they're starting to hear the same things that we heard last year. And that's concerning to me. Which means it's one of 2 things, Mike. It means either they realize that, okay, once again, we have another coach who is an idiot, doesn't know what he's doing. Or there's a serious problem with the collection of players they have in this locker room, and they just refuse to take any accountability for their play.
To me, that's not right. The players do need to take accountability, and they need to wake up, and they need to do what they need to do. And they're not doing what they need to do, which is playing hard and playing for the city. Because they're not doing any of that.
No, I'm just more concerned. I get concerned. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was in retaliation. They heard what Doug said to the media, and they lashed out to that. But I always get concerned when I hear players start to criticize coaching in public. I'm not sure there's a lot of good things happening in that locker room now. And it's the same, it's the same thing we're seeing with these players. So at some point, I think it's fair to wonder. And right now, I'm questioning whether or not the majority, they have a lot, I don't know they have a lot of winners in that locker room, guys with winning attitudes. Because this is not something winning teams do.
No.
You never hear this stuff happen in New England.
I want winners.
Okay, you don't hear this happen in Pittsburgh. Okay, you take a look around at some of the winning franchises. This sort of stuff doesn't happen. You come out and you question coaching decisions. So, I'm not sure. I don't know the Eagles have enough winners on this roster right now. And I think they don't, to be frank. Because I'm tired of hearing all the excuses from the coaching staff and the players. And this is 2 years in a row under two different regimes for some of these guys. So, I'm officially done with this Eagles team for the remainder of this season. They're going to have to clean out. They're going to have to do some house cleaning with some of these players if this is becoming a big issue.
They need to do house cleaning, and they need to toughen up. Doug Peterson needs to toughen these guys up, and show that he's the leader, and that yes, you can have your opinion, but you also have to play hard in order to earn that opinion.
That's fair. It's fair, but I don't know. I've checked out. I just want to see how Carson Wentz develops, and that's the main thing I want to see from the rest of the season.
I was so tired of that game that I went out to see a movie last week.
Yeah.
That's how bad it got.
Yeah, well, we're not even going to get into that. We're now going to shift it to the main focus of this show, which is your Philadelphia Flyers. Currently the best team, well, not the best team, but they are the hottest team in the NHL on a nice little win streak. And there's a lot of things to be excited about with this Flyers team right now. You take a look at the way they score goals, Mike. Like, they've scored the second most goals in the entire NHL. Their power play, which we were critical of on our preview show, and we've been critical of in shows past, they have the second-ranked power play in the NHL right now. They have done a phenomenal job of finding ways to put the puck in the net.
They don't quit. This team does not quit.
Mm-mm.
You saw it on Thursday night. They fell behind twice by 2 goals. Okay? It's hard enough to come from behind 2 goals once in a game, but to do it twice, that's saying something.
That was an impressive win.
That's fight.
Yeah, that win over the Oilers was impressive because you said it. They were down. I mean, to be down 2 goals twice in the game, you overcome it both times. I mean, one stretch where they scored 3 goals in a minute and 12 seconds.
That's insane.
That's incredible. I mean, that was just an exciting game. And this is not the first time the Flyers have had to come back from behind in games to win, which adds to the excitement. I mean, if a team gets up by 2 goals, hey, they're still in it.
They are. And I'll tell you what. Steve Mason has played a lot better lately.
Oh, he's played better. There's no doubt.
You look at some of the scores, and a lot of giving up only 1 or 2 goals in a game. You're going to win a lot of games that way. If your goalie plays the way he keeps playing, you're going to win a lot of games. Now, the only thing that concerns me is the defense, because these defensemen they're still a little shaky, but I think that. That'll come with experience for the younger guys, and the older guys just need to take reign, and they need to step up.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, like they've allowed the most goals in the NHL, which is a two-pronged effect. They have not had great goaltending. Has not been the issue during this stretch. Mason wasn't really great against the Oilers. He could probably use a night off. But the goaltending's been better as of late. Early in the year, the goaltending was terrible. That's accounted for a lot of goals. And like you just said, like the defense has not been good. I mean, we were talking before we start recording, and what are they, 23rd in the NHL in penalty kills?
Yeah.
Like that's a direct indication of how the defense is playing right now. Okay, that's going to be a problem down the road.
It is.
But we're gonna stick for now. Let's just stick on what they're doing well. And you hit on it, okay? They're scoring goals right now. Their power plays really well, and the goaltending has been miles better during this stretch. I mean, it's been phenomenally better during this current winning streak and during this current stretch for the Flyers than it was in the beginning of the year. And listen, I was critical of Steve Mason, and I stand by it. Well, at the time, what was the stat? He was 46th in the NHL in save percentage.
Yeah,
that was terrible.
Yeah,
he was playing terribly. Okay, that's a fair criticism. Now, on the other side of it, he's been phenomenal. He has been phenomenal ever since Michael Neuwirth's injury. Mason has been much, much, much better.
He's looked like a number one goalie.
And we got to give credit where credit's due there, okay? He's playing well. He's playing better. And you said he is looking like a number one goalie right now. But, you have to understand with Steve Mason's career, this is typically how it goes, okay? He goes, a big, up and down. He's a roller coaster ride. He has times where he plays well like this. And I think we should enjoy it right now because there's a swoon coming. The swoon is going to be coming with Steve Mason. I'm happy to see that he's playing well right now, and I'm going to give credit where credit's due, Mike. He's been phenomenal.
He has, and it's shown in the number of saves he's had to make in some of these games.
Yeah, he's had to make up for the defense. No doubt about it. He's made some incredible saves. He's playing at a high level right now.
Yes.
He's riding that confidence, and it's good to see. It's good to see. So I start wondering, Mike, like have the expectations changed for this for this team at all?
Well, I think the expectations they're remaining the same only because you're still in that transition period. I think a lot of people expect things to kind of shift either next year or the year after that because a lot of the young guys have yet to come up. So I look at it as you stay the course right now. You keep doing what you've been doing. All right, keep winning, and build that confidence up. My expectations: make the playoffs and maybe take the first round. That to me is a perfect stepping stone in the right direction.
Yeah, I'm with you. And my expectations for this team were just that make the playoffs again, and to get a first round victory. That was my expectation before the season, and that's still my expectation right now. I demand that right now from this team. And the way they're playing right now, I expect it.
That can happen.
I expect to get a series win in the playoffs. Those are my expectations for this team.
Now, obviously, things can change if they continue to climb up the Eastern Conference leaderboard. But
are you suggesting they could be one of the top 2 seeds in the Eastern Conference? Are you suggesting that?
Not top 2, but maybe top 3 or 4. But if that does happen, my expectations kind of shift a little bit into where, all right, get to maybe the second, get to the third, get to the conference final, maybe if that happens. But that's still a long ways away. I'm going to stay with my goal, which is
I don't know that they're ready to get to a conference finals yet. For that to happen, you would need. I mean, you would need everybody to continue to play at this level. Like you're going to need Giroux to continue playing. You're going to need him to continue to have the season that he's having right now, which we didn't even mention him. Claude Giroux has been. He's been having a quietly very, very good season.
He has.
Yeah.
And, it shows. And hats off to him. He's playing like a captain. He's doing the right things. He's shooting the puck more. He's putting the puck in the net. He's exciting.
He is. And someone else who's been exciting. I mean, talk about exciting. Someone else who's playing really well right now. Wayne Simmons.
All aboard the Wayne train.
Wayne Simmons, man. He leads the team in goals. He's been phenomenal in the power play. I was just looking at the stats. I know he's in the top 5 in power play goals in the NHL. Like Wayne Simmons, he's a guy who's really coming into his own right now in this season.
Oh, he was the leading goal scorer last year for the Flyers. He had a 30-goal season last year. Right now, he could score 40 goals for this team, which hasn't happened in a long time.
How about that, man? That would be so great to see.
It would be.
I mean, the problem, like, is this sustainable, Mike? The way they're playing right now, is this sustainable? Like, should we expect this for the rest of the season and into the playoffs now?
No. I wouldn't expect it. I wouldn't get my hopes up because there's still a lot of holes to be filled and a lot of holes that are showing defensively. If they keep playing like this, it'd be great, but it's not the ideal expectations. I'm keeping I'm staying down to earth here.
You've learned your lesson from the Eagles.
Yes, yes, I have learned my lesson.
I have too. I'm taking a page out of that book.
So, hey, if they continue to play like this, great. If they don't, I'm not going to be surprised.
No,
I'm not going to be shocked.
No, you said it. There's there are too many holes still. We still don't have number one goalie, and defensively, like right now, Ivan Provorov is their best defenseman. He's playing at a very high level right now.
He shut down Yager the other night.
Yeah.
And Yager, he went in the dressing room and he said, someone wanted to do an interview with him. He's like, no, I got to go to the locker room. It feels like I'm going to die.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Everybody said about Provorov, and it's true. And there's a guy who's been forgotten right now, despite coming up last year making an impact. Shane Gostisbehere.
Yeah,
Gostisbehere. I tell you what, you can give me your thoughts. I mean, I think Gostisbehere's. I think Ghost's struggles this year have kind of hurt this team on the defensive end.
It has.
Yeah, and I don't think a lot of people were expecting this.
I think it's the sophomore slump.
It could be. You get some tape out on him. I haven't seen the film on Ghost, so I can't exactly say what teams are doing differently to him this year. But I think I want to say regression, because this is a case of regression. Okay, and it's hurt the Flyers. It's really hurt them on the defensive end.
It has, and you know what? After such a stellar rookie year, expectations they changed for a guy like Gostisbehere, because he changed that season last year.
Yeah,
he single-handedly changed the fortune of the Flyers, and they made the playoffs this year.
Which is interesting because they're playing so well right now, despite Gostisbehere not playing well at all.
Yeah,
but it's just interesting when you think about it, because he was the guy that sparked them. He was that spark last year, and now he just doesn't have it this year, and yet they're still going on this streak despite that. So if Ghost can get out of his own way, if he can get his stuff together, that will only help this Flyers team going forward. Enough to propel them to an Eastern Conference Finals or Stanley Cup? No. They're just not ready for that. They still got too many holes. But if he can find a way to improve his play throughout the rest of the season, it's only going to help things.
Definitely in the long term. Short term, he's got to overcome these struggles that he's dealing with, and you said it perfectly. But I think long term, you overcome these struggles now and be better for it in the future, because he's gonna be a key part of this team.
But we're in agreement. We still both say first round playoff win.
Yes,
playoffs and first round win.
Yes,
the expectation is still for this team.
Yes,
yeah, I'm behind that. So what happens now? I'm sitting with off my head, man. What happens now when Neuwirth comes back?
He's number two. I mean, he'll probably get a spot start here and there, but you got to stick with Mason.
Oh,
you got to stick with the high hand.
You have to.
I mean, and if Hackstall doesn't do that, well, he's crazy.
Well, that would be foolish if he goes back to what he was doing. Now, we had a debate, and we had this argument a couple weeks ago on this show. If he goes back now to flipping goalies in and out, then that's just stupid. At the time, I could see why he was doing it, because Mason wasn't playing well. Neither was Neuwirth. So he's trying to get someone established. But now you have a guy who is playing well. There's no reason now to continue to flip goalies.
Now, the only reason I could see him doing that so often, and looking at the scheduling, there are a lot of back-to-back games this year, and normally you don't see a goalie start back-to-back games. Usually you see one goalie start the one night, and the other goalie start the next night. So I could see why he's done that, but right now, you stay with Mason. Mason is the guy right now.
No question about that. No, that's an easy one to figure out. But we'll see. They're the exciting team in the city right now.
It is, and it's great to see the Flyers making some noise, and I'm happy.
We need it. We need it, seriously, because there's been the buzz has just been sucked out of this town with the way the Eagles are playing. We need something. And then we got to hit on this really quick. The big buzz was Temple going, Temple taking down the AAC title, and then that's short-lived because now Matt Rule's off to Baylor. But congrats to Matt Rule.
Yeah.
It's a career move. He's got to do it. If he wants to win a national title, realistically, it's not going to happen at Temple.
No, it's a once in a life. It's an opportunity for him. He's got a chance to rebuild a Big 12 program that desperately needs rebuilding.
No, it's. I think it's a tough spot for him to be in, but he could put Temple football on the map. Why can't he go do it at Baylor? I wish him all the best, though, man. I love Matt Rule. Matt Rule's a good coach. He just, he did what he had to do here.
You know what? It's kind of like the same situation with Al Golden in Miami.
Yeah, it is. Al Golden's a good football coach. He just he got screwed over down there in Miami. He took that job and they got hit with all those sanctions, and he never really got a fair shake, which is interesting because I hope the same thing doesn't happen to Matt Rule at Baylor because you have that whole investigation going on there with those incidents, the sexual assault, and so I would hate to see the same thing happen to Matt Rule, but I'm going to be pulling for him. He did a lot of good things for my alma mater, and I'm appreciative of that. But speaking of colleges, you have Villanova. You have those Wildcats. Yeah, number one in the country. Again, picking up right where they left off from last year. A little bit different look to this team. They don't have quite the presence down low. I think it's fair to say that they had last year, and really you can attribute that mainly to Amari Spellman being lost for the season due to academic reasons. He's ineligible, and there's no doubt I think that's going to hurt them down low. But again, man, they're shooting the ball really well. The guard play has been solid. This is another really good Jay Wright Villanova team.
Yeah, they're scoring a lot of points too.
Oh, they are. Yeah, I mean that goes into their shooting. Like I'm looking at their offensive numbers here. All right, and I just had them up. They're still. I'll see if I can get those up. But I thought I had those written down. But they're still a really, really good offensive team as far as their field goal percentage, and
they're averaging about 80 points a game.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a good clip. I'm curious to see where that ranks 56th. In the country. Yeah,
56th in the nation. But
we mentioned we mentioned the guard play that they're getting, and the guard play. I mean, Josh Hart has been, he's been the player that they need to step up with Archie Diacono leaving. I don't think Josh Hart's he's not quite what Archie was on the defensive side of things, but they're still a really, really good defensive team.
They are.
And I look at this team like how do they compare to last year's national title team? A, and B, can they legitimately compete for a national title again this year?
I think if they play the way they have this year, I definitely think they could. It's going to be a tough road because in order to get there first and then win 7 games without losing. So it's going to be tough, but I think if they play hard enough, I think they could definitely do it again. Why not?
The one thing that's a little concerning to me, I'm concerned about them on the glass. Okay? Like, this year, they're 210th in the nation in rebounding. And at first glance, I'm like, not good. But then I did a little research, and I looked last year. They won the national title, 207th in the nation in rebounding. I don't really think that's the formula you want to use, but they can do it. All right, and are they good enough? Are they as good defensively this year as they were last year? No, but they're still really good. They're still a really good defensive team. But my big issue, like when your leading rebounder is a guard, Josh Hart, that's a problem to me. That to me is a bit of a red flag that goes up in the air about the Wildcats.
There's not a lot of size on that team.
No, but they expected. I mean, that's where Spellman really, really hurts the man. Like they expected him to come in and step up and take that role that Daniel Chafu had, and it's hurting them. It's hurting them for sure.
Yeah, because when you're lacking size, it's tough to compete against some of these teams that had that size advantage.
Nah, it's a big mismatch. But I got some offensive numbers up here. All right, now to the 2017 Pomeroy basketball rankings, where they did the advanced statistics. Mm-hmm. I'm looking here. Villanova. They're number 2 in adjusted offense, and they're 15th in adjusted defense. So they're still playing at a really good clip. And their field goal percentage, I'm looking at here, they're 2-point field goal attempts. They're shooting about 58% from the floor, which is good for a tie for 12th in the nation. And then I'm looking their 3-pointers. I'm just waiting on the computer here. I tell you, these computers, man, shouldn't it be they get them up in the blink of an eye?
Yeah.
Shouldn't it be getting to that point?
All that talk about speed and how efficient they are, and
yeah,
it's like you get one, and it's like, all right, you're slow.
And this is a Mac too. This is supposed to be But then again, I've also got I've got a lot up here. I've got the internet stuff. I have the Buzz stories up here. I've got GarageBand working for this thing too. So there's
false advertising.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of overload going here. But this is what you pay the big money for, right?
Yeah. You expect speed. They do all that talking about speed and performance on these computers, and they're slow.
Yeah, I can't. I'll tell you.
I'll
see if I can find Villanova's 3-point percentage.
Maybe that's your grind for the week.
No, I have a couple grinds in mind. A couple things that really just tick me off. But I think can this team compete for a national title? I didn't think they could last year, but seeing how good they were defensively, like I definitely overlooked that. Is this team, watching them, this team's not as good as last year's team defensively, but I think they have enough where, they can make a run. Yeah. They could definitely hold it down, I think, on the defensive end. And offensively, they've got 4 really good guards. They've got guard play. They shoot well. They go to the free throw line. They make free throws. So can they compete for a national title again? Yeah, I think so. I think they can. I'm not going to discount them. Like, you still have Josh Hart, and you still have Chris Jenkins. Seriously, is anybody more clutch in college basketball than Chris Jenkins?
No.
Yeah, right. Come on. He made the game-winning shot in the national title game.
And you know what? You think about Jay Wright and how he's coached this Villanova historically. There really hasn't been a whole lot of size on this team to begin with.
I've got it here. Okay. Sorry, not to interrupt, but I've got it. The 25th in the nation in 3-point shooting.
Not bad.
Solid right there. Yeah. Nah, but you're right. And that's the big knock on Jay Wright was always, Villanova's good, but they don't have the size.
Yeah.
And I know before last year, there were a lot of people who wanted Jay Wright out of Villanova, which, to me, I couldn't understand.
Yeah.
Because he took a guy who walked in, small school like Villanova. They had a national title back in the day, but that was sort of a fluky sort of thing. But he's taken this team, he's made them, they are a mainstay in college basketball now.
They are consistent contenders for a title.
And the only thing that was missing from his resume was the national title, and he's got that now. He's not he's not recruiting just Philadelphia kids now.
No, you got a wide variety of players coming into the city and making that program what it's known for now, which is competing for a title.
It is, but there are still some people who still like poo-poo Villanova, And I don't know, why is that, man? Why do some people in the city why is there such a strong dislike for Villanova and not even consider them part of the city? I hear a lot of that.
You see, to me, that's wrong because if you think about a typical Philadelphia fan base in general, we're just talking before major sports. You think about the Delaware Valley, South New Jersey, Philadelphia, and its surrounding areas. Yet Villanova's close to the city, and yet they get a bad rep. I think
it's because they're on the main line. I think people look at that. The dislike comes from because the tendency of people go to Villanova is you get the rich, uppity, and kind of tend to thumb their nose at people. So I can see why that rubs a lot of people the wrong way because there's definitely you definitely have that at Villanova. And I think that rubs a lot of people the wrong way because that's not this when you talk about Philly, like I said, we're a blue collar town.
We are,
and that's going to rub people the wrong way. So I think that's where that comes from. But hey, we're all about unity here, man. When we got the Villanova Wildcats ranked number 1, it's about the greater good.
Hey, they are part of the Big Five.
And they are, and give credit. They won the national title. I was shocked. I didn't think they could, and after seeing that, I'm not about to discount that they could do it again, man.
No, neither am I.
Coming up, we've now got grind time. And, where we go off on things that have annoyed us from the sports world. I've got a couple this week. Mike, you have something you want to start off?
No.
Oh, you got nothing?
No, nothing.
Oh, so this is all me this week. Well, I've got 2 things to grind about that really... All right, first one. Last week, whenever you listen to this, it was recent in the NFL they had... I can't think of the name of the cause for the cleats.
The charities.
Yeah, they had where players could. Man, it slipped the tip. I had the name and I can't remember, but they had the event where players could wear any cleats they wanted, as long as they were supporting a charity. And One member of the Philadelphia Eagles, Dorial Green Beckham, wore cleats Kanye West inspired. He claimed they were for the Yeezy Foundation. Okay, well, apparently, the NFL did some research and they found that the Yeezy Foundation does not exist. And he got fined a little over $6,000 for that.
What a clown.
So dude, are you going to make up a charity foundation? Who does this guy think he is? George Costanza from Seinfeld making up the human fund? Are you kidding me? Like, I said it at the time when he got traded. On this same podcast, I said I didn't like Dorial Green Beckham. I wasn't a fan of the deal because it was a red flag that the Titans would give up a second-round pick for him. And stuff like this must be why. So are you going to make up a fake charity? What do you think? That the NFL is not going to check you on that?
That's wrong.
I mean, come on, man.
That's just pathetic.
It's wrong because you make up a fake charity. It's just that's the sort of thing I'm talking about when I say I don't think they have a lot of winners in this locker room. So there better be some serious purging that happens this offseason. And then the other one. Obviously you had the Kansas City Chiefs taking out the Oakland Raiders this past week on Thursday Night Football.
How about them?
And I couldn't help but notice the previous week, in Week 13, Oakland Raiders punter Marquette King apparently has gained national attention for some of his celebrations after his punts. And yes, I said that right. The Oakland Raiders punter is known for his celebrations. And he got flagged last week for a celebration. He got hit on a roughing the kicker penalty. It wasn't against the Chiefs, but I forget. I can't remember. Against the Bills. He got flagged for a roughing the punter penalty. Picked up the flag, used it as a prop in the celebration, and he got hit with a 15-yard penalty.
Wow.
Are you serious? Like, dude, you're a punter.
What a knucklehead.
And you're going to go, you're out of line for, because you're a punter and you're celebrating. Okay, all you do is literally just kick the ball. That's it. And B, how are you going to celebrate as a punter? Why is that even allowed in that locker room?
That shouldn't be allowed.
A punter is there for one job. Literally one job. You just punt the football and you try to stick it inside the opponent's 20-yard line. That's it. Okay, that's it. Who is this guy to come off and think, I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to get in on the act. Someone needs to put this kid in his place out there in Oakland. And I don't see that being done.
No.
I don't want to see that, man. That is total crap to me. When you have punters on the field celebrating, getting unsportsmanlike flags for excessive celebrations. Get the hell out of here with that, man.
Those are two legitimate grinds there, Dave.
I mean, are you serious? Dude, he's a punter. I mean, what's happening with the NFL, man?
It's one thing if you're gonna do a fake punt, you somehow complete a pass to score a touchdown.
Holy cow!
You're putting the football away.
You punt the football and he fair catches it. Oh, and you got to go in the whole celebration, break out song and dance. Man, get out of here, dude. Man.
Oh, that's funny.
Maybe someone lays him out on a return. Maybe then that'll stop.
Like Jeff
I don't
Beagle.
know. Man, holy cow. But now we've got, I'm feeling a little bit better. See, I've been holding that in for a whole week. Man, I feel better now. See, I feel so much better. Like, that's all off my chest. I was holding that in for a week. Now we've got coming up, we have The Buzz. We bring you crazy, wacky, funny stories, headlines from all around the globe. And, Mike, we're going to start off, we are going to Auckland, New Zealand. All right, so we're going to the other side of the globe, where the New Zealand wing of KFC is running a special promotion. They are offering customers a chance to win a fried chicken scented candle. Apparently, you can sign up for the promotion online, and if you are picked as a winner, you will get this rare item, a fried chicken scented candle.
I don't know about that.
And what's interesting is that this is not the first time that this wing has offered strange merchandise. They have offered several items, including. Oh man, these are ridiculous. All right, they have had chicken scented sunscreen and nail polish designed to taste like fried chicken.
I don't think I want to go to that KFC.
How about that? You know, I enjoy fried chicken as much as the next guy, but I don't think I really want my house to smell like fried chicken on a consistent basis. I don't really know that I want to, get that smell while I'm lying out on the beach getting the tan. And I don't know too many women who want to throw on some fried chicken nail polish.
No.
How's that work? How's that even supposed to work? So you put the nail polish on and you just suck your fingers?
Yeah, I guess so.
Man, that's a weird one. I'll pass on that
same
promotion.
here.
Yeah, but apparently they've done this stuff before, so I guess it must work.
Yeah.
People wouldn't want this stuff for some reason. All right, then we're going to bring it back to the USA, and we're going to go to Gilbert, Arizona, where apparently there is a new fitness trend has emerged, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
A fitness instructor from Gilbert, Arizona, claims that her classes are selling out routinely since she started and she offered this new variation.
Okay.
She has introduced goat yoga.
Goat yoga.
This is a regular yoga class. The only difference is that they hold the class outside, and it's with goats walking around among the members, and sometimes even climbing onto the participants during their yoga poses.
I don't think I want that either.
Now, there's been no research done to show that the goat yoga or that the goats help with fitness and improve form and overall health-related issues. But it's apparently the new trending thing for fitness classes out in Arizona. Goat yoga.
Huh.
And it's $10.
Go figure.
$10 to sign up for a class with goat yoga.
Not bad. Not a bad deal, though. You pay $10 to get to hang out with goats.
Even the kids are that too? Yeah, you can do the yoga class? Hey, guys, go play with the goats.
Yeah.
I don't want that either.
Yeah, it's all fun and good until someone gets hit
Now, here's
with
a
their
thought.
horns.
Yeah, now here's a thought, Mike. Something that I would think of if I was taking that class.
Yeah.
All right, I'm in my yoga pose. Not that I do yoga. I couldn't even name one yoga pose. Let's say I'm in a yoga pose, right? And goat climbs on top of your back, okay? Goats have to go to the bathroom, you know.
Oh, God.
Now what happens? Yeah, what happens if goat makes that little number 2 there on your back?
Oh, God.
I think you're gonna have some unhappy people with that.
Yeah, I'd be unhappy. I'd definitely be unhappy with that.
No, I'll pass on the fried chicken, everything, and farm animals while I'm working out. Can you imagine that? What if they had farm animals just like walking around the weight room? What about that on the treadmill? Maybe they can do that on the treadmill, huh? You know, you're on the treadmill doing that, and all of a sudden they just put a cow on there. You know, cows need to lose weight, right?
Yeah.
But there you go. There is the. Oh no, Mike, you have a special story. All right, we have a bonus story here on the Buzz. What do you got for us, Mike?
Well, we all know Matt Rule was fired this past week.
Well, he wasn't fired. He
left. He left for Baylor, excuse me, sorry. And, well, a lot of criticism's been going around about him and, how he's, a lot of Temple fans aren't too pleased. Well, a high school student with the Twitter handle, Matt Rule, has been gotten a bad rap for people that have been displeased. Matt Rule is his name.
Oh, his name is literally Matt Rule.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you meant I thought you meant he made like a fake Twitter.
No,
but his name is actually Matt Rule.
No, and he has had to defend himself, saying, "I am not the coach. I am a high school student."
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
oh,
and apparently,
man.
a lot of people have been backlashing him for quote unquote leaving Baylor, when in fact he is a high school student.
Oh man, there's got to be. Yeah, they better be careful with that. This is a kid.
Yeah.
Like you say something. I mean, you could face potentially. You could be even in more trouble. There could be arrests coming from that.
Yeah, and he was just like, all right, yeah, check your Twitter handles too.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
How do you not realize you're sending that to a kid and not the real Matt Rule?
Anger can do a lot of things.
Well, actually, I can say, being on Twitter, since I'm running the Twitter page, you got a lot of idiots on Twitter. I will say that. Not always the brightest people saying the brightest things.
Yeah.
But speaking of, by the way, we are finished with the Buzz, where we bring you the craziest, wacky stories, headlines from around the globe and local. But yeah, speaking of that, man, like I was doing some work for the Twitter page, and it's just kind of funny. I forget what page it was. I'll put it up in the link. I thought this was hysterical. I was looking at the Flyers, wins. We're talking to people, all that on the Flyers Twitter page. Apparently, a guy and a girl, I don't know, they work for some convenience store. I don't know, based on what they were saying. They were having conversations about their work and some unprofessional things they were going to do on the job. And it was supposed to be they were talking to each other, but I guess they forgot they included at the Flyers Twitter handle in that. I found that kind of interesting. Yeah. Maybe I don't want to put that out there now I'm thinking about it, but I just found it interesting. To go to your point.
That's funny.
Yeah, you have some interesting situations on Twitter. All right, we got to hurry up there. We're running out of time. Up next, we've got our pick segment, our Week 14 Locks of the Week. Mike, you were undefeated last week, sir, so you're gonna lead the way. Your first undefeated week, since what, like Week 5, Week 6? So good job by you. What do you got for us this week, man?
All right, this weekend, we're going to stay local. We come to Philadelphia, where the Philadelphia Eagles are hosting the Washington Redskins.
Yeah.
The Redskins are favored by 2.5 points.
Yes, they are.
And given the fact that the way the Eagles played last week, I expect nothing to really change from them. Give me the Washington Redskins at 2.5 to beat the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
Now we head out west to Los Angeles, where the Los Angeles Rams are hosting the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons are favored by 6 points. I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons at -6 over the LA Rams.
All right, Mike, so there you go. All right, there's two pretty good plays. All right, well, I like two home teams this week.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to start off, I'm going to go down south, right, to Nashville, Tennessee. You got the Tennessee Titans taking on the Denver Broncos. And I went against the Broncos last week, and I got burned. The Jaguars let me down. But this one, the Tennessee Titans are only a 1-point favorite against the Denver Broncos. And the weather's not supposed to be good down there, which means it's going to be a sloppy game, and it's going to be favoring running the football. And the Tennessee Titans, that's their bread and butter. So I'm going to take the Tennessee Titans. I like them at -1. I think they take out the Denver Broncos. And then I'm going to go back up north. We have the Buffalo Bills taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this is one of these lines. Something's fishy here, Mike. This is a fishy-looking line. The Pittsburgh Steelers, powerhouse that they are, everybody's back healthy, playing well. Despite that, the Pittsburgh Steelers are only 3-point favorites against the Buffalo Bills. I'm taking the Buffalo Bills, not only to cover the 3, but to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers and keep themselves in the playoff race.
Wow, the Bills are circling the wagon.
They are. Yeah. But there you go. I like Tennessee at -1 and Buffalo at +3. Mike's got the Redskins winning and covering the 2.5 against the Birds, and the Falcons covering the 6 on the road at Los Angeles. There are your Week 14 Locks of the Week. So moving it along, we've got shout-outs now. I'm going to start off here at Twitter, where we've had a good week here at Twitter, Mike. We're going to give shout-outs to the AP Show, LLC, Flyer. That's just got his name, Flyer. He obviously is a Flyers fan. JM Margolis, Talk of Philly, which looks like it's a cool little blog website you guys should check out. Coactive, Kevin Christian, Guy Woods, Root Tap, and Matt Bohannon. Shout-outs to all you guys for following us and check us out on the Philly Pod.
We got nothing here on Facebook.
Nothing on Facebook. All right, so good week for us on Twitter.